Have you ever wondered how you could edit your images from this to this? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you 4 different tools that use AI to help you upscale your images. So the first one that we're going to be looking at is Magnific AI. So let's jump right into the video. Alright y'all, so I'm going to go into Replicate and I'm going to create an image. So I'm using the Fooocus API Realistic model. So the prompt that we're going to use is a woman, ocean in the background, walking on the beach, sunset, tropical, realistic, realism, AK, UHD, depth, and portrait. And then the negative prompt you can see right here. And then here are the style selections. We're just going with everything that's on the basic. We're going to change this to quality though. We'll just keep the aspect ratios the same right now. And then we'll generate, let's do 4 images. And then we'll pick which one looks the best. So, and we'll leave these settings the same for right now. So, and you can see as you can add all these other things in here. Image prompts for the control net and all that stuff. So you can add up to 4 different things to it. So let's run this right now and let's see what we get. Okay, so our images have generated and these are the 4 that we have. It looks like the last one's going to be the best for what we want to do because we're going to be using Magnific to make the skin and make everything look more realistic. So let's do that right now. We're gonna save this image and then we're going to go over to Magnific. Alright, so if you don't know what Magnific is, you can visit Magnific.ai. I'll have the link in the description. So these are some examples of what it can do. You can see how blurry the image is on the left and then what it turned it into on the right. You can edit the creativity and everything on what you want it to generate. So, and here are just a few examples of what it can do. So let's dive in and see what it can do for us. Alright, so this is what it looks like once you're logged in. You'll be able to input your image and upload it. Then you have your scale factor. So right now they only have 2x, but I'm assuming they're going to have 4x in the future. And then you can optimize it for your portraits, art and illustrations, video game assets, nature and landscapes, films and photography, 3D renders, and then science fiction and horror. So what we're going to be doing is portraits. And then what we can do is we can write our prompt in here. And then, so we can guide the upscaling process with a descriptive prompt. If the image you're upscaling is AI generated, reusing the original prompt here can greatly improve the upscaling quality. To weigh specific parts of the prompt more heavily, you can include a number of parentheses between 1 and 1.4, like beautiful, green eyes, 1.3. Okay, so just like this in the example. The creativity, this allows the AI to hallucinate. So a greater number is going to move further away from the original image. And then a lower number is probably going to keep it closer to the original image. And then the HDR. So this is going to increase the definition and the detail. Very high values can result in images with artificial appearance and blotches. So resemblance, increasing this value will make the generation more closely resemble the original image, but a very high value can result in blotches or a dirtier look. So lower values are going to give more freedom to the generation at the cost of moving further away from the original image. Or you can select your engine, and they tell you about each engine on which one's the best. So Sharpie's good for realistic images like photographs. And then Sparkle is good for that as well. So what we can do is, it's going to cost 5 credits to upscale an image. We'll try Sharpie since we're doing a photo and we want it to be realistic. And then we'll paste in the original prompt right here. And then we'll add some of these things in here, like for the skin and stuff like that. So I'm just going to paste in that prompt that I used. And I'll have everything in the description for you. So if you want to use this prompt, you can go and try it as well. So let's allow it to hallucinate on a 2. Let's put everything at 2 for now. Let's see what happens. And then we'll set the engine to Sharpie and we'll see how it goes. Okay. So I did change the image as well. So the other one wasn't exactly how I wanted it to be. So here's the before shot. You can see how blurry it is, especially in like the eyes in this area. The skin just looks like too perfect, too blurry. We have some, looks like the lips look a little bit more real, like more like skin. We can see like the hairs on the eyebrows, and the eyes look a little bit more realistic. So this is what we want. This is the goal that we're looking for here. And let's see what we have here. So then they have like skin down here. You can see like the wrinkles in the skin. That's what you want as well. So this is really good for what we're trying to get. Still not like completely human. Still looks like a somewhat AI generated, but it's getting pretty close. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to use the image that it just generated. We're going to put it back in, and then we're going to up the creativity and then raise the HDR a little bit. We'll keep the resemblance the same, and then we're going to see what else it can do for us. So we're going to be using this image now, so the after image, and we're going to see if it can make this and improve it even better. Okay, so upping the creativity to 4, the HDR to 3, and then keeping the resemblance at 2. We added a lot of freckles, but the hair looks extremely realistic. Like it looks like this is a photo. Okay, like look at the way the sun hits it, and it has the shadows and everything, except for this area right here. But like out here, this looks like hair. Like that's like this looks realistic, especially if you look at the before. It does not look as realistic. It looks very blurry compared to after. But the freckles and everything is not what we wanted at all. But that's part of the creativity part of it. So obviously you can play around with this and get the look that you're looking for and get it exactly right. But it does do pretty well in here. Like the indentations on the skin and like the facial structure and everything. Like you don't have that before. You can see it a lot more now. So especially around the mouth and stuff like that. So it's looking pretty good. You can play around with Magnific if you want. Just visit Magnific AI. The next one we're going to jump into is using a model on Replicate. So we're going to jump over to Replicate right now. Alright, so the first model we're going to use on Replicate is the high resolution control net tile. So we're going to use the same prompt that we did before. So this one, I just kept the basic settings on it. Everything that was on the default. So it made the picture like a little bit better, like in the terms of like lighting, and then like made the eyes a lot more green and brighter. But I would say it really didn't do that much to like enhancing the image. So then I'll show you what settings I used for that. Resemblance was a 1. Creativity was a 0.75, HDR was 0.7, the DDIM scheduler, and then the guidance scale. So it didn't do that great. We can change these settings around a little bit. Let's just make this a 1. Let's improve this. And let's see what happens. And let's raise this to a 7. I'm gonna run that again and see if it makes something a little bit better. And I'm gonna show you guys another model after this one as well. Okay, so we got the image back. It had a lot of hair in the neck area and like on the shoulders from before. So and the eyes are still very green. It's not really doing exactly what we want. If you want it to be just like a regular upscaler, it's probably good for that. You can play around with the settings on it. So if you have a Mac and you want to run an upscaler locally on your computer, you can go into the App Store and you can download FreeScaler. So I have this and it runs pretty good if you want to upscale a photo, a drawing, or like you want to have the anime style. So it uses the real sRGAN style and then the real SR for the sharpened image. So we'll try that out right now and see what it does for us. Okay, so we can upscale it 2x, 3x, or 4x. So for this, we're just going to do a 2x. And then all you have to do is click upscale. And we'll see it run. Okay, so we got the image back. And you can see it cleared it up a little bit. kind of distorted like the eyes a little bit, just the way like the eyelashes look, but I guess it just kind of made it more clear. It has like that like Photoshop look to it, like face app look to it. Alright, so we're gonna run the sharpen image on this one that we got back from Magnific earlier. So, and it's gonna upscale that to a 4x. So let's run that and see what happens. Okay, so we got the image back. What we're gonna do is download the image. Okay, so this image on the left is the image that has been sharpened, and you can see like there's no blurriness at all over here. Like look at that eye. Yeah, it's crazy. So this file is also 130 megabytes as well, and this one's like I think like 400 kilobytes, so it's very small compared to this one. But as you can see, it really did everything to sharpen it very, very well. So FreeScaler, very good for the Mac, so I recommend it. And didn't take very long. It took about 1:30 to upscale this image, so I recommend it. Okay, so now we're going to be using Stable Diffusion, and I'm going to show you some of the results that this workflow that we're going to use can generate for you. So here's the base image generated at 512 by 512, and then upscaled to 1024, and then upscaled again to 2048, and then upscaled again to 4096. So, and then as you can see, it has the tile size and the total tiles right there, and then it changes over here, the tile size and the number of tiles. So I'll have the links to all this below, and you can take a look at it yourself. But I'm going to show you guys how to use all this with Stable Diffusion, and then the image that we generated, and the upscaling that it did for us. Okay, so what you're going to need is the Stable Diffusion web UI. You're going to need the control net, the tile model, this version right here. You can download it right there, and you'll be able to put it in this path. So once you have the Stable Diffusion web UI downloaded, if you don't already, you'll just go into the extensions path, the control net, and then the models, and you'll put it in there. And then you're going to need the Ultimate Stable Diffusion Upscale, and you're going to add this into your scripts directory. Or you can just download it straight from the web UI. So I'll show you guys that as well. So you can use the Photo Real model, but I use the Realistic Vision version 6 model. It's a Stable Diffusion 1.5 model. And then you're also going to need these embeddings. So you're going to need the Easy Negative embedding, and then the image sharpener, and then the upscale as well. So this 4x Ultra Upscaler. Okay, so you need to download the 4x Ultra Sharp Upscaler, and then you're also going to need to download this LoRa to the Add More Details Detail Enhancer LoRa, and then you're also going to need the Skin Perfection Negative embedding as well. So you're going to add this to the negative prompt, and then I'm going to show you where you're going to put these at in your files. Okay, so when you visit those links, all you have to do is hit download, and you can download the model, and I'll show you guys how to drag it into your folders. If you want the full model, you can download that right here. If you just want the prune model, so the smaller version of the model, like if you're running it on a laptop that doesn't have a lot of RAM, or a desktop that doesn't have a lot of RAM, I recommend running the small model so you can actually run it. The full model you probably won't be able to run if you don't have enough RAM for it. So, and then same thing goes for all these. You'll just go over here to the file, and then you'll download the embedding, and then same for the image sharpener as well. Okay, so you're going to need two control nets. You're going to need the tile control net as well as the soft edge control net. And I'll have both links there. And all you have to do is hit the download button and download both of them. They're both 1.45 gigabytes each. Okay, so once you have everything downloaded, you're going to navigate to the Stable Diffusion Web UI folder. You're going to go to your embeddings folder. If you don't already have it in there, you can create the folder. So you'll have your Easy Negative, you'll have your LR.pt, and then you have your Skin Perfection. And then we'll go down here. You're going to have your models. You go to the control net. And then you're going to have the control net tile and then the soft edge. And you'll drag those in there. And then for the S-Argon, you're going to put your upscaler in here. And then for your LoRa, you're going to put the add detail LoRa in there. And then for stable diffusion, you're going to drag and drop your model into this folder. And then I'm going to show you guys how to install the extensions on the front end as well, if you guys don't know how to do that already. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to click on the extensions tab. You're going to go to available. You're going to click load from. Should load everything up. You'll type in the control net. And then you're going to scroll down to it. I already have it installed, but you'll click on the install button to install that. And then you're also going to need the Ultimate SD Upscale. So I already have that installed as well. So you're just going to hit the install button, install that. And then what you're going to do is go back here and then click apply and restart the UI. So then that way it applies. And then you'll be good to go. So what you'll do then is we'll go over here to the image to image. So I used a different image for this because it wasn't working with that last image that we generated earlier. So I generated with an image with this prompt using text to image. And then now I brought it over here to image. So I put the negative embedding in here. I put the LoRa in here. And then I put also the easy negative embedding. And then the LR embedding as well. So these are the settings that I found to use on Reddit. And then also those instructions. So they were using the DDM2M keras. I'm pretty sure it was at 32 steps. And I was just playing around with it between 512 and then between 1024. Just because on this Mac I don't have enough RAM for it, and I didn't put it on my AI server to run it on that. So, but what we're gonna do is go to the control net, and then you're gonna click on tile and then blur, and then make sure you enable it. I clicked the low VRAM just because this computer doesn't have a lot. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna select your model. If it doesn't show up, you just click the refresh button and then it'll show up for you. And then what you'll do is you're gonna go and add another control net. You'll click enable, and then you're gonna add soft edge for this one, and the same thing. But for this part right here, the preprocessor, it's gonna be set to something else, but you're gonna want it to be on the HED one. And then you're gonna leave all this stuff the same. And then when we scroll down here, we're gonna select our script. And then we're going to select the Ultimate SD Upscale. And then you're going to go over here and select the 4X Ultra Sharp. If this doesn't show up right away, you're just going to have to restart the UI and restart everything. Okay, so I made two minor mistakes. So the sampling method is supposed to be the DPM2SA keras method. And my easy negative embedding was in the positive prompt, and it should have been the negative prompt. And I just missed that. So this is what it's supposed to look like. I'll have everything in the description for you, the way it's supposed to look properly. Okay, so once your image is done generating, you can go over to extras. You can click on single image, and you can use the upscaler again. And then you can upscale the image even more if you'd like. And then you can save that and compare the images. Okay, so this is the original image that we're going to be using the image to image upscale for. So when we zoom in, we can see how pixelated it is. We can see the skin. We can see the eye color. And then we'll see what it generates now. Alright, so the image on the left is our original image, and the image on the right is going to be the image that we just generated from the image to image upscaling. So if we zoom in, it's pixelated, and we're going to upscale this image with the upscaling process that I just showed you to see what we can get out of that as well to make it more clear. So you can see the eyes are a little bit more blue compared to over here. Let's zoom in over there. They look like kind of grayish. It cleaned up like the pixels over here a little bit. Like, see, there's no more dots right there, the black ones. Cleaned it up a little bit. So what we're going to do is let's show you the upscaled version of this, so we can remove a lot of these pixels and see what it looks like. Okay, so on the left is the original upscaled image. And on the right is the one that we just ran through the 4X upscaler. So as you can see, it's not as pixelated anymore. You can see like all the details and everything. So you can probably run your regular images through that and see what it does. I don't know exactly how well it will do for everything. You may want to play around with the settings and everything just to see what you get. Because that's how you're going to figure out what's the best for you. So, and what you're generating. So it's by just testing it out and figuring out. So For this one, I changed the upscaling resize settings from 512 to 512 to 1024 to 1024. So we got a little bit different generation from before, and I'm going to compare it with that in a second to show you. You can see there's a lot more blue eyes. And since it is a larger image, it's not going to be as pixelated as we go in. It looks like it has like more clear like moles on the skin and like blemishes, and as well as like the facial structure. So I'm going to show you the comparison right now. Okay, so on the left is the original 512 by 512 image, and on the right is the upscaled 1024 by 1024 image. So if we zoom in, we'll be able to see some massive differences in what we generated from before. And then I'm going to show you the upscaled image to compare that to from upscale to upscale. Okay, so we'll start with the original image, and we can see this is what it looks like. This is the 512 upscale, and then we get to the 1024 upscale. So you can play around with the settings and see what you get, and let me know in the comments like how it goes for you guys. Alright y'all, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. If you guys like the video, just drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to be dropping a Discord, and I'll have the link in the description below. And we're going to be discussing everything from virtual influencers, AI, SaaS, mobile apps, everything you can think of. If you guys want to join the community, the link will be in the description, and I hope to see you guys in there.